Hello, welcome to Aligned Heart. This is Misty Springer, and I'm thrilled to be with you today. This is going to be a reflective episode. I've been in a space of contemplation and excited to share with you. But before we begin, I have a couple of announcements. First, that I will be starting my What Are You Hungry For group coaching program end of September. This will be a group coaching space with strategies as well as exercises to really get to the heart of what your cravings are teaching you and how you can tune into your body and learn to listen deeply so that you can not just put a band aid over the cravings, but really understand why they're there and what they're here to teach you so that they can stop yelling so loud and actually feel like you are in control versus your cravings controlling you. So I'm really excited about that. That is going to be a really expansive and beautiful journey. We've had a couple of workshops so far with the same topic, and the participants have actually really enjoyed diving deep into the cravings that they've so often wanted to hide or run away from. It's been very revealing and very powerful. So hope you'll join me in that. Feel free to reach out, just drop me a message and let me know if you would like more information on that program. Powerful way to move through your cravings. So, aligning with possibility. So, this weekend, actually, the last couple of weeks have been very full. I spent this last weekend with my daughter wedding dress shopping and wedding planning. And that was right after dropping my son off at college. And that was just one day in between spending a week with all of my family at our first family reunion in 3 years with two new in-laws and a new grandbaby. And so I am just feeling into this space of transition and change and growth. And this morning, my son started his first day of his junior year in high school. My youngest, heading into his junior year. And so, yeah, this space has felt very contemplative. I know many of you are moms, and this time in September feels like a new beginning. It can feel like the start of a new year. And it often, as our kids go off to school and we have a little bit more space, there is that kind of sigh of relief and sigh into the transition of, okay, what's next for me? And with all that I've had going on in the month of August and really looking forward into the months ahead as I have new grandbabies and weddings and lots of really beautiful, powerful work responsibilities with two retreats that are coming up. Um, it felt like I was behind. It felt like I didn't have enough, I hadn't done enough, and there was a feeling of just needing to catch up. And so my energy felt pretty scattered this morning. I felt like I wanted to just kind of jump right in and get going. I wanted to create momentum. I wanted to catch up for lost time. And so my energy was like into this space of like, I just need to create a to-do list and get moving. But when I got quiet, what I really wanted from all the accomplishments and checking off the to-do list was to feel grounded. I wanted to feel confident. I wanted to feel alive and connected. When I asked myself the question, okay, if I had everything done on my to-do list, what would that do for me? It wasn't the act of checking things off that I was after. What I was after was the feeling of being grounded, confident, aligned, and connected. That's what I truly wanted. That was my true desire. And so that was a really powerful step back because it allowed me to recognize, is getting crazy busy, checking off all my to-dos actually going to get me what I want? And so in that moment, I felt the tug to be still versus jump into all the doing, which felt a little uncomfortable, a lot uncomfortable, actually. I wanted to just kind of jump in and start doing. My energy felt very scattered. And when I got still and when I prayed to know what to do next, the reminder came to just be still with God first. And a reminder that who I am being is where all creation begins. So I poured my heart out. I told God all of my concerns, all of my fears, all the feelings of being behind and needing to catch up, just letting my anxiety flow out, pouring out that vessel in my heart, creating an empty space for God to put something new in. I know that my energy is my greatest asset, and that where I shine my light is what I will see and the direction I'll go. So if my energy is shining my light on all the ways that I need to catch up and I'm behind and I'm not sure I'm going to be able to get it all done. And did I do enough this summer? Did I do too much? Right? All of those feelings of uncertainty and confusion and doubt. If I'm starting from that energy, that's the direction I'm going to go. I needed a fresh perspective. I needed to drop into who I was being and who I wanted to be first. And of course, after took that moment of stillness, um, randomly up on my contemplation app that I had came the quote: "The secret to change is to spend all your time not fighting the old, but building the new." That's Dan Millman. Um, Again, the secret to change is to spend all your time not fighting the old, but building the new. And right along with that, the scripture kind of floated into my awareness in Second Corinthians: old things pass away and all things become new in Christ. Like, what a beautiful reminder that when we're in this place of change, it can feel very uncertain. I've watched all of my kids go through this as they've had the nerves. Before starting school, or um, the the anxiety of getting everything done and planning a wedding. It can feel unsettling. It can feel like you're stepping into the void. It feels uncertain. And so that change can feel really disconcerting and really unsettling. Or it can feel like a blank canvas. A blank canvas is just exactly the same thing as a void. It's nothing. It's starting with nothing, a fresh start, a new creation, unlimited possibility. It all depends on your energy, where you're shining your light. When I was in the energy of not enough, lack, and I'm behind, I was creating the energy of anxiety and uncertainty. And when I was reminded that I could focus on all that I wanted to be first, that what I really wanted was to feel grounded, aligned, connected, and confident. When I cultivated that energy first, I was able to begin from that energy and create very different results. Instead of seeing this open space, this void, as dark and scary and uncertain, it felt fresh. It felt like creation. It felt like possibility. It felt like I was pulling my paintbrushes out and getting ready to create something new. So what I was feeling prompted to do this morning was to create a to be list, starting from what I want to build, right? The quote: "It's not about focusing or fighting the old, but building the new." So, what was it that I wanted? What did I want to build? That's where I needed to get clear first. Not all the ways I was behind, but what I wanted to create, what I wanted to build. So here's just a few of what I came to today, and hopefully this is helpful for you as you're in this season of change and new possibility, especially at the start of a new school year. Hopefully this will spur some inspiration in you in thinking about what you want to create. So I want to operate from alignment, listening and responding to my heart first in my family and my business. Okay, so in my family, this looks like um, knowing where I'm needed next. I now have kids, adult kids, that are in multiple states. And instead of being able to serve multiple needs in my family all at once in one day in my home, I now have to choose between being in one state or another, depending on what needs are needing to be met at any given time. So, what this looks like, I had a very real experience with this just this past weekend. I am flying from my son and my daughter-in-law are blessing my first grandbaby, their first daughter, in Washington, D.C. in on October 10th. My daughter is getting married in Idaho October 17th. And so I'm flying from Washington, D.C. to Idaho in order to meet both of those needs. Now, I came to the point where I recognized I could spend a couple extra days with my son and my new grandbaby and spend some time, just quality time with them, or I could fly to Idaho early and spend time with my daughter, helping her prep for her wedding on the 17th. And it felt like both were equally important, very high on my priority list. And it felt like my stomach was in knots thinking about who needed me more. And my brain couldn't come up with a solution. I tried. Oh, believe me, 3 o'clock thoughts, 3 a.m. thoughts, really tried to figure that solution out in my brain. And what I had to do is I had to drop into my heart. And I had to drop into this place of grounded, confident, aligned energy. And when I dropped into that place, recognizing and knowing if I am coming from this place of groundedness, aliveness, aligned energy, if I operated from this place, what decision makes sense? And from there, I was able to make an aligned decision that I didn't question once after I made it. I was in this ping pong energy going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, trying to figure it out in my brain. When I dropped into my heart and into the energy of what I wanted to be, who I wanted to be, I wanted to be grounded, confident, aligned, and connected. When I dropped into that energy, the answer was clear. And I haven't questioned it since. That's the power of operating from alignment. Now, in my business, I trust that when I am building my business, I want to build an aligned business. That may look very different than any other business out there, particularly businesses that are modeled in a different way, using strategy, business strategy, marketing strategy. What I want is aligned energy. That's what my whole strategy is based on. That's how I coach my clients. What is in alignment for you? When I drop out of my head, the strategy piece, and into my heart, I trust that what I need to do is going to show up and it's going to be enough. Like I said, I'm being pulled in multiple directions in my business and in my family. And so this is important. If I feel like I am dropping into the energy of should, I'm going to feel that ping pong energy and never make a decision that feels grounded. But when I start from that energy of I am grounded, confident, aligned, and connected, when I begin from that energy and say, from this place, what next? The next step becomes clear. That's my commitment to myself, is that I'm being someone who is grounded, confident, aligned, and connected with God and asking what next and trusting that the next best step is enough. So that's my first one. I want to operate from alignment. The second is I want to be connected to my own internal knowing as I run my business and my family, as I lead in my business and lead in my family. So, for me, what this looks like in my business is having a lighthouse strategy versus a marketing strategy. Now, a lighthouse strategy is something that my mentor taught me, and I love this concept. It's a lighthouse, meaning I am the light on the hill. And the clients that are needing my light see my light and are attracted to that light. My light provides hope. My light provides direction. My light provides safety and assurance. And my light isn't a lifeboat that goes out and saves people. I know that when I shine my light is enough to attract the right people into my business. This is very different than a marketing strategy. Now, yes, are there marketing things that I need to do in my business? Yes, of course. This podcast is one of them, but it comes from a very different energy. When I come from a place of being grounded, confident, aligned, and connected, my energy is my greatest asset. It's the light that goes out into the world, and the right people find me versus coming from this place of strategy and push, and I've got to go get the right people. That feels very different. And for some businesses, that works excellent. That works really, really well. But for me, my my to be list, my energy is my greatest asset. And so I know that being grounded, confident, aligned, and connected is where I begin. And that's how I show up creating the business and the clients that are meant for me. So that's my second. I want to feel connected to my own internal knowing. The third, I want to make decisions based on integrity. Integrity is very important to me. To me, that feels like alignment. My process is awake, aware, align. Every step that I take in how I coach my clients and how I help them lead their most aligned and connected lives is the same strategy that I use for myself. So when I think about making decisions from integrity, it means that God, my spouse, my family, and me and my clients are all on the to do, are all on my priority list. It doesn't mean that one is higher than the other on the priority list. And I think that that's important. All of those are, are um, an aligned action means that sometimes my my spouse is going to take precedent over my kids. Sometimes my business is going to need some attention, even when my kids are at home. Right now, my son just walked in the door, and I'm so anxious to hear about his first day of school. And I'm aligned, the aligned place that I need to be right now is speaking with all of you and creating this podcast. And I will get that time with him. I'm super excited about it. But right now, this is where it feels aligned. Now, what how this looks in my life, I had recently, my husband and I have been going through transitions in our relationship as our children have left the nest and we're trying to figure out who we are. We've been in this space of parenting children, sometimes dividing and conquering as we are managing four busy schedules with four children going in different directions. And so, as our children have started to leave the nest, we've had to start to come back and get to know one another and our relationship in a new way. And that has had its own bumps, it's had its own ups and downs. And one of the ways that I have had to make decisions from integrity is by really getting clear on my energy first, right? Who I am being is important. If my being, my to be list is I want to feel grounded, confident, aligned, and connected, starting from that energy first is imperative. When I started from the energy of just like my brain trying to figure out how to make this relationship work, doing all the things that felt right to me from my brain, my patterns of protection, the way that I was trying to keep myself safe, or the ways that I wanted him to show up in order to meet my needs. All of those things were getting me nowhere, and it was creating more discord in our relationship. But when I started with my energy first, and I started to ask, who would I be? How do I show him love? Show me, God, how to love him, not in the way that my brain says I need, but in the way he needs, right? When I come from that place of grounded connection, how do I operate? I show up as someone who is asking, how can I love him? Show me what he needs. And I made a commitment to myself that I would show up in love in whatever way that that prompting came. If the prompting came to stop in the middle of my workday and go downstairs and give him a hug and say, he works from home too. So give him a hug in the middle of the day and say, hey, just thinking about you and I love you, I would do it. If it was just to send a text, I would do it. If it was just to walk past him and squeeze his hand, I would do it. And all those little things added up into a very different relationship and a healing that I didn't know was possible in our relationship. So, acting and making decisions from integrity is a really powerful way to start making those shifts and those changes from who you are being. Begin with your energy. Your energy is your greatest asset, and you have the ability to start there instead of allowing your brain to take over. So, finally, I want to create powerful tools and programs that serve my clients and potential clients. So, alignment, or my energy, beginning with this energy of who I am being, as I serve my clients, it means I know my clients and potential clients. It means I know what they need, and that when I serve these women who are wanting to show up as the best version of themselves, that's the women that I serve. Women who know that they want to show up as the very best version of themselves. That it's not about a place of lack. It's not about, most of the women that I work with have created really beautiful things in their life, and they're almost a little bit ashamed that they feel like they want more. Part of them feels like, I shouldn't want more. I have so much. Who am I to ask for more? But they can't deny that whisper in their heart. It's like they know that they have a potential that they want to step into. They know that they are meant for more. They feel a pull on their heart. They catch a glimpse of this powerful version of themselves, and they want more of it. They want to create a business that is meaningful and impactful and creates income in an aligned way. They want to be able to create a small and mighty business that doesn't overtake family priorities or compromise their values. They don't want to um, boss their brain into trying to believe something about who they need to be as a business owner or a mom. They want to just feel in alignment with who they are already are. It's not about becoming something different. It's about remembering who they truly are, connecting with that deep knowing within themselves that says, this is who I am. It's like a remembering instead of a searching, striving, or like creating something new that feels very, frankly, exhausting. A remembering is where you get to come into that stillness and have God show you who you truly are, right? Old things pass away and all things become new in Christ. So, powerful tools and programs that serve you, that woman who knows in her heart who she is designed to be and is ready to step into that. So that's what I am um, ready for this year. That's the creation that I'm stepping into. That's the blank canvas that's in front of me that feels full of potential and possibility. And it only became clear when I started with my energy first. Who do I want to be? When I got clear on that first, when I got still, and when I connected to that knowing in my heart, when I felt God showing me and helping me to remember the truth of who I truly am, who I am being flows naturally from that. So that's what we're going to create right now. In the meditation that accompanies this podcast episode, we're going to create your to be list and include a meditation that will help you ground into that feeling. And the really powerful piece about that is that what the energetic path that you start on is the energetic path that you end on. So if you begin your day in the feeling of grounded, confident, aligned, and alive, that's where you end at the end of the day. Right. But if I, just like today, if I had continued on that path of anxious, behind, needing to catch up, not enough energy, that's where I would have ended. I had to cultivate the energy of who I was being first. And that has taken my energy in a totally different direction today and allowed me to create from a space of ease and alignment and clarity. And that's what I want for all of you. So join me in the next episode. It's going to be an exercise in creating your to be list and then a meditation to ground into that. Hopefully, this has served you for today. My intention is always to show up in love and service for all of you, powerful women and men out there. As always, if this is something that resonates with you and you feel the pull on your heart to share it, please do. Always welcome a review, and that helps me to share it with more people in the world. Thanks for being here with Aligned Heart. We'll see you next time.